Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into something that's been, I think, on everybody's minds at some point, right?
Oh, yeah.
The JFK assassination.
Definitely one of those big mysteries.
Huge, right? And especially, uh, we're going to focus in on the grassy knoll.
Ah, yes, the grassy
I
knoll.
mean, that's like synonymous with conspiracy theory,
Oh,
right?
no, absolutely.
And what's really interesting is we're using a song to kind of guide this.
Okay.
It's called The Grassy Knoll, and it really kind of gets at that like mystery
Mm-hmm.
that continues even now, from November 22nd, 1963.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious, like, what does this song tell us about how people
Yeah.
think about this event,
Yeah.
and that location, the grassy knoll?
It's so interesting how this song just like drops us right into the day. It's
Yeah.
like a sunny parade, you said. It's in Dallas.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's just a national nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
And it talks about these three shots.
Right.
And it's not just bullets. It's like this sonic boom that just shattered this sense of innocence and
Yeah.
security, and not even just for the people in Dallas,
Right.
but like for the whole nation.
Yeah, no, it's true. And you really get that sense in the lyrics, right?
Yes.
Like dreams being cut short and this like future that was just suddenly rewritten.
Totally. And
then you get to the chorus,
Yes.
which is really where they introduce this like tale of the grassy knoll.
yes,
And it's like that spot,
more than any other rape
more than any other.
from that day.
It's like the center of all these conspiracy theories.
Totally.
Why do you think that is?
Well, part of it is just the event itself,
Right.
a young president, super charismatic, seemingly powerful,
Yeah.
and then boom, he's gone.
Just like that.
Yeah, and at the time, it was
It's going to be impossible to process.
yeah, especially with the Cold War,
Yeah.
Everybody's on edge already, and this happens. So I think people
Oh,
are just like,
Grasp.
yeah, looking for answers, looking for something more
Yeah.
than just, a lone gunman.
Right. And the song mentions,
The Zapruder film.
yeah, the Zapruder film.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's got to be the most analyzed home video
I think so.
in history.
Yeah.
Right? For people who haven't seen it, it's silent, it's in color.
Right.
It actually shows the assassination
Does it happen?
as it happened.
Wow.
It's grainy, it's shaky,
Sure.
but it's like the closest we have
Right, to like a visual record.
of what happened.
Absolutely.
But even with that,
There are still questions.
so many questions.
Right, and I think that's what's so interesting about the Zapruder film
Yeah.
is that it didn't really settle anything.
Yeah.
It's like it just added fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
It became this Rorschach test, right? Where different people are looking at it and seeing different things and
Right.
drawing different conclusions about,
Yeah, like which way the shots came from, the timing.
everything.
Yeah.
It's like this whole generation of armchair detective
Totally.
just poring over every frame
Yeah.
looking for clues.
Yeah. So then you have Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right, the alleged assassin.
Yeah, and the song kind of touches on his past
Yeah.
a little bit,
A troubled past.
which is like
adds another layer.
another layer to this whole thing.
Right.
But it also leaves this possibility open,
Yeah.
that he wasn't alone.
That there was more to it.
Yeah, that there are these forces
Yeah. That we may never understand.
we may never fully understand.
And that's what I think is so powerful about that second verse.
Yeah.
It's all about that doubt,
Right.
And these agendas that are maybe hidden.
Right.
Did Oswald act alone?
Right.
Or was he part of something bigger?
Right.
And the song doesn't give us answers.
Right.
Which I think is part of the reason why,
It keeps it going.
yeah, all the conspiracy theories are still alive.
Right.
I mean, you have to think about the context too, right? This is a time when people are already kind of questioning the government.
Yeah, the Vietnam War is ramping up,
Exactly.
and there's this counterculture
Yeah.
that's coming up.
Challenging authority.
Yeah, so the idea that like
Oh, yeah.
something's going on behind the scenes,
Things are being manipulated.
yeah, that really resonated with people.
Totally.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more complicated,
Oh, my gosh. I know.
you've got Jack Ruby
Yeah.
entering the picture.
Oh, yeah.
The song mentions him.
It does.
That doesn't really go into detail,
It's like it leaves you hanging.
which I think is almost more powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so who was this guy?
Right.
What was he doing in all this?
And for people who might not know, Jack Ruby was a nightclub owner in Dallas.
Right.
And he actually shot and killed Oswald
Yeah.
just a few days after the assassination.
It was on live TV.
Oh, I know.
Like crazy.
Oh, crazy.
And still to this day, like nobody really knows why he did it.
Yeah. What were his motives?
Was he acting alone? Was it something more?
Right.
It's like every answer just leads to more questions.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what this song with that chorus that keeps repeating is
Yeah.
trying to say.
It's not just a historical event,
Yeah.
it's about how we deal with uncertainty,
Right.
how we try to make sense of things that just don't make sense.
And I think that brings us to like the big question here. You know,
Yeah.
if you were investigating this,
Oh, wow.
where would you start?
That's a good question.
What piece would you focus on?
What would keep me up at night?
Yeah.
I think I'd start with the witnesses,
Oh, yeah.
the people who were there that day,
Right.
their stories, their perspectives.
The contradictions, maybe?
Exactly, because everyone saw something different.
Right.
Everyone remembers it differently.
That's such a good point.
And I think somewhere in those discrepancies
Yeah.
might lie a piece of the truth.
Wow. That's a really good answer.
Thank you.
That's really thought-provoking.
Well, thank you.
So I think, the grassy knoll, this song and the actual location,
Right.
they remind us that sometimes the biggest mysteries
Yeah,
are the ones that are closest to home.
absolutely.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, this is great.
And we encourage everyone to go out and learn more,
Yes.
explore this topic, and come to your own conclusions.
It's a fascinating one.
It really is.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was great.
I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Yeah.